Oil quotes are steadily rising. Increasing oil prices and improved risk appetite have provided support to the ruble. On Thursday, the Russian currency has broken though the level of 73 against the US dollar. However, the situation may still change by the end of the day. Brent crude extended yesterday's growth and opened today's session with a rapid rally. Yet there are no obvious reasons for such movements. The oil market is still suffering from oversupply, while oil storages are almost full worldwide. Maybe the major market players have stepped in as the nearest oil futures contracts are about to expire. On the other hand, the new OPEC Plus deal on output cuts comes into force on May 1st, which may also add optimism to the markets. Besides, some countries have lifted lockdown restrictions, thus raising hopes that energy demand is starting to pick up. Brent oil futures gained 8% in the morning trade and settled above $26 per barrel. North American Grade jumped even higher and was up by 14%. WTI crude was last seen trading at $17.20 per barrel. Despite today's growth, Brent is unlikely to test the level of $30 per barrel in the near future. Oil's uptrend over the last 2 days can be explained by speculative market moves rather than by any significant factors. Oil market is likely to stay highly volatile in the short term. Russia's energy minister Alexander Novak said he could already see some signs of recovery in fuel demand. However, it might take much longer for the market to fully restore the balance. Meanwhile, the ruble continues to surprise traders. On Thursday, the US dollar slipped below the level of 73 rubles. So the ruble has finally reached its multi-week highs against its American counterpart and settled at 72.74 in the early session. The ruble is probably rising on overall optimism after some countries began to ease the quarantine restrictions. What's more, rising crude prices have provided additional support to the Russian currency. The Bank of Russia is now expected to reduce its currency interventions as oil has finally climbed above $25 per barrel. The regulator may also want to prevent a drop in the budget revenue due to the strengthening ruble. Tomorrow is a day off in Russia, and this means that later in the day traders may try to close their positions on the ruble and to hedge them with the foreign currency in order to avoid negative news during the long weekend. The ruble is currently extending gains, but not for long. As soon as investors turn their attention back to the imbalance in the energy market, oil quotes will slump again, dragging the ruble down. In this case, traders will target at the level of 75 unless the Bank of Russia increases its currency interventions. You are watching Market News on InstaForex TV channel with me, Kate Stichina. We wish you profitable deals with InstaForex.